Sorry.
Whoa, this ain't going.
Be down the spot. And
But I appreciate everybody on the chat tonight for your comments. Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to Thursday night at the B Connection. Glad to have everybody in here so far. Hope everybody's had a pretty good week. Our weather has been cold. We have definitely hit that cold air, got some snow, got quite a bit the morning that I didn't know we was going to get any. And then by late afternoon, it hammered down a second time. So definitely picked up about 4 inches of snow when it's all said and done. This was right at the end of it. So good little snow here at the house. As you see the barn there. Did take a really cool picture, which is what's on the front of the stream tonight. This was at work. Got a little dust in there. And then the beautiful sunrise was absolutely incredible. And that lasted for about 10 minutes. So probably not as pretty as the Northern Lights, but I like our sunrises. So they're pretty nice. So, but anyway, our weather overall for the upcoming week looks like we're going to get a little bit better weather. We're going to stay around the mid 50s with a little bit of rain, it looks like, here in the mountains in North Carolina. Probably 10, 20 degrees, maybe cooler than Keith down there in the south. Bee-wise, I did have one of my colonies that the top blew off of. So added some center blocks to those. That was not good during all that cold weather. Bees look to be okay. So I am definitely going to move my bees to Yadkinville this weekend. So Saturday will actually be the official move for us up here. So the trailer doesn't have tail lights on it. I couldn't get them to work. So we're just going to put my wife behind in another car, and we're going to bring them on down off the mountain. So, but it looks like the weather's going to stay in the mid 50s here, which is actually pretty good weather for us as long as the wind's not blowing. So, what about you, Keith? How was the everything down your way?
yeah, we didn't see any snow. Am I sounding okay? I don't have an echo or anything, do I?
You sound good on here with me.
Okay. Not to me.
Okay. Yeah, Microsoft decided to do an upgrade on my computer. I've been having some technical difficulties, but yeah, I didn't see a flake of snow. So Ricky got all the snow, and I know they got some flurries down south of here, but I didn't see any. We got cold. We got down in the 20s, and looking at the forecast there that you put up, yeah, we're about 10, 15 degrees warmer than that, but definitely made a big rebound from a couple of days ago. So that's good. That's good. Those cold days, it's kind of gloomy. Bees ain't doing nothing. Too cold to mess much outside. But I guess winter time's here.
Yeah.
The bees ain't doing a whole lot. They started flying some today where it warmed up. I did go ahead and I did my November oxalic acid treatment. So I went through and did that today. So I'll do one in November, December, January, February, probably one each month. So got that out of the way. Got my 20 boxes and 200 frames all made and dipped and ready to go. So I'm ready for spring.
I heard that. I tell you what, it's nice to things to wind down, but you really start thinking about spring coming up. But it'll be right around the corner. So, I mean, Christmas won't be long, and it'll be here. And next thing you know, we'll be at Nobby. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
things are definitely going to move on pretty quick. And if anybody in the chat's got any snow, let me know how much snow you ended up with. I think some of the higher peaks here actually ended up with probably about 6 inches of snow overall. So, and Keith, I got a question for you here. Who's these fine people in this photo right here?
Yeah, that's my dad in the upper left.
Okay.
World War II. He was drafted out of high school. He was 17. So I don't have the picture with me. Those are 3 of his buddies. He was in Europe somewhere. This was 1940, probably late 44, early 45, something like that. So yeah, these were just 4 of them goofing off, I guess, and somebody had a camera, and somehow the picture made it back home. So that's awesome. One of a few that I got back from his Army photos. So he never, I wish I had to ask him a million questions now, but it was kind of something that was it was just kind of off limits. You just never talked about it. He would tell you some of the funny stuff, but he didn't talk about any of the tough times that they had. So I learned a lot after he passed away from talking to some of his buddies at the VFW that I never knew. But
wow.
But yeah, he was like a lot of I know a lot of guys. Their fathers. It was just something you didn't talk about. They didn't want to talk about it, and you didn't bring it up.
Wow. Yeah. And we want to salute all you veterans out there. We do appreciate your service. You guys are awesome. And speaking of veterans, we got JW with us here tonight, and he's been in the service. So JW, we appreciate you, brother. What's going on in your area?
Well, thank you. Well, I can about did old Keith. Only I got some snow. We had an inch here Monday or Tuesday morning, whichever it was. Time's already got away from him, but but by 1 o'clock it was about all melted off except in the fence rows. The ground was so warm. I've done the same thing. I've got all my bees buttoned up for winter, fed, treated. I did my last treatment yesterday. I did 65 highs on the Instavamp and timed it in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Took me with one Instavamp. I've got 3 plungers, but other than that, boy, I did it all with one Instavamp battery, and got them all done. 65 highs in 2 hours and 15 minutes, what it took me. So
you did good.
I thought that was pretty good.
Absolutely.
I got everything shut up and treated, and got my feeder shims on, and 1 round of feed bonded on them. I'm going to go into them next week and see how they're. Yeah, they've been on since the fondest been on since the 5th. So I'll see if they got it, how much they've taken down. I put about 2 pounds in each one of them. See what happens. So, that's the story of my life.
Ready to go there, JW.
I'm ready to go. I am very much so. We'll see if I'm like Keith. I'm just making stuff for next year, doing a little carpentry work. Gonna try to figure out how to put some, just take standard 10 and 8 frame boxes and split them in the middle where I can put a piece of core foam in them, divide them up for queens and stuff for spring. See what happens.
Yep. Yeah, it's time to sit around and look at clouds and make plans for springtime. What you going to do next year? What worked this year? What didn't work? What you going to do different?
Well, we've had excellent weather here the last couple of days. It's supposed to be 70 tomorrow and 73 Saturday, and then start cooling back off again, being but it's not supposed to get cold again here. But I had 23 Tuesday morning,
Mm.
and it was almost 70 today, and it's supposed to be 70 tomorrow and 73 Saturday.
Yeah, kind of the same here. Looking at our 10-day, I don't think we drop below freezing the next 10 days. So it's probably 40s and upper 60s, might hit low 70s. So yeah.
In reference to that, I've been putting, I call them robbing stations or feeding stations out for the bees. I got about, I don't know, 5 or 6 gathered around. I mean, they're just swarming it. They're out. And there's nothing else out there, so they're hitting them hard.
No.
I made a mistake. I've got a little old Cushman. It's a 4-wheel cart. You know, it's a work cart. It's got a dump bed on it, a Cushman. That's what I call it, my fart mobile. That's what I work my bees in. And I made a mistake. I had some little dab of Pondit in a coffee cup, and I had it set. It's got a drink holder deal there. I set it out there, and I forgot about it, and I left it out there for about an hour. I was doing some work in the shop, doing some cleaning work, and went out there, and I probably had 2,000 bees on my golf cart. They was all trying to get in that coffee cup.
Yeah.
So they're hard up for something to eat.
Oh yeah. They're out looking. I know when they started flying and opened the doors there at the shop, they could smell, all those wax, anything I've got in the shop here, here they come, start buzzing me, sitting there trying to drink a drink and have a pack of nabs, and they're buzzing all around you looking for something, anything.
I've made 109 pounds of fondants over the last weekend since Friday. I have done that also. So.
Oh, good for you. I've got fondant on all of mine, but I didn't make it. I tried that. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I just made a mess.
I finally got it kind of figured out. Matt Ramsbottom's been kind of mentoring me, helping me with his formulas and stuff. I found out I was getting mine was coming out too hard to suit me anyway. And I was cooking it last time. I was going the wrong direction. I started cooking it longer, and it softened up for the breakdown. I'm pretty well satisfied with it now, so I think I've got her down.
Okay, good deal. I can't remember if mine came out squishy or hard. It just didn't come out right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it took me about 6 batches. I made small batches till I got my formula about the way I wanted. And I'm up to 20-pound batches now. So
good deal.
So I've got 100. I weighed out, got 100-pound packaged and ready to put out, even when I need it. So that's what I'm going to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my ladies have been going after it. Let's see, I've replaced 4 or 5 patties that they've already ate. So yeah, they're the hives are heavy, but they love that fondant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. Don't really matter to me, as long as they pop out in March or February.
Well, that's not too far off. You get thinking about it in my world.
No. I mean, it's I looked over at the Nobby page a while ago. 55 days till Nobby. And that's early January. Month after that, early February, maples. According to what the weather's doing, but the maples probably going to start budding early February, middle February. So yeah, ain't that long.
Nope. And I tell you what, spring seems to pop early for you guys down there. It's just not fair for us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it hits hard down here. So got to be ready. Don't be scared of putting them supers on early.
Right. And before we move on, I just want to mention that Brian will be on tonight after our live stream, trying to catch you guys some early so that they will be on a little bit later, him and Todd doing their live stream after ours. So if Anybody's on
Yeah.
early, just remember that, and you can come back on here in about an hour and a half, and they will be having their live stream. So,
Did y'all see that thumbnail that they're using for their
oh yeah,
with the wagon, like a wagon
yes,
train
that
heading out west? That was
that was awesome.
Whoever
Yep.
picked that out, y'all did good, Brian.
Yep, so, that's definitely some good work. So,
Mhm.
and I
I'm
also
glad we're
want
getting-
to
Go ahead.
go ahead, Keith.
No, I was
go
just
ahead.
saying, I was glad they're getting some folks interested out on the West Coast. What time I've checked it out before I fall asleep, some names popping in that I don't know, which is a good thing. So the more the merrier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Brian, they want to know what channel is it going to be on? Is it going to be yours, or will it be on Todd's channel tonight? So, also do want to mention the Nobby dinner coming up, and if you haven't registered, here is this with the QR codes. You can go ahead and scan that. I don't really know how many we're up to right now. Tom and Melissa will probably be on here in just a little bit, and we'll ask them exactly about the Nobby dinner. But I know it was posted, I think, on the Nobby homepage now. So I'm sure we've picked up other people that may show up and be with us, which will be great.
I think that the last I talked with Melissa, she was up to 91. I think I may be wrong, and that probably a lot more. That's been a few days ago.
Yeah, I know I still haven't registered my couple of friends that'll be coming with me. So, so we will have JW there with the sign-in booth. I think somebody said to put him right next to the bathroom. So while you're standing in line, just grab something, and JW will sign it. Trust me. I think one time he told me to even sign the underwear if you needed it done. So
Thanks a lot. I'll be inside the bathroom in case anyone's interested.
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that endorsement.
Yes, sir. Always looking out for you, JW, especially when Tom's not here, So
I need somebody to keep my drawers clean.
Wow, that's unreal. Brad said that he was actually mowing the lawn. That's unreal for up there where he's at.
Wow.
Yeah, I have some.
So,
If it's that warm, that's going to mess up Ian where he just put all his bees up.
yeah, no doubt. He better be putting them back out.
He's definitely going to have to be running the cooler.
Yep. So everybody else in the chat get any snow? Let us know how much snow you got. How much did you say you got, JW?
I had about an inch, but it didn't last long. The soil's so warm and it melted off. It was about all gone except along some ditches were blowed into the ditches by 1 o'clock the same day. And the next day it got up to 50, and it's like I said, it got up to almost 70 here today. So it's gone.
You notice what Lee's talking about over there? We got two lives going on.
Yeah, I can't seem to get the other one off, and then one's a small little sliver, and one's a big one. So I apologize for that. I don't know what I did when I started this one up. So he's posted.
I've got them both on my screen here. Y'all seeing? Are y'all seeing?
I've got it too. I don't know how to get rid of it either.
We got the vertical and the horizontal.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I've tried to delete it off, but I cannot seem to do it, and I'm not real good computer person, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit the wrong button. We know how that works.
Maybe trying to give you a little pointer there, maybe, Rick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you get your charge cord fixed where you're not going to have to bail out on us tonight?
My wife bought me a brand new one. I can see right here, so yeah.
Quartered off.
They put us in StreamYard purgatory.
Yeah, she's here sitting beside of me, but she's definitely in trouble today. So,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Barney, somehow I've got two going. I don't know how to get it fixed on my screen here. Maybe I'll let Keith and JW talk here a few minutes and see if I can't figure out how to get rid of one of them.
Well, I guess it ain't hurting nothing, but I guess some folks are somehow they're going to the skinny one instead of the fat one.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I've never had it to do that to me before, so I'm not exactly sure how I managed that. Is that better?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
didn't change nothing.
No. Folks, I don't know, but if it can be messed up, I can definitely do it. So
Blame it on the weather.
yeah. Yeah. I have no clue. I do apologize about that tonight, though.
So JW, you say you treated, what'd you say, 65?
I did.
Now what's that compared to what you had this time last year?
Oh, I got about 20 more probably going into winter than I had last year going in.
Okay. Well, that was a heck of a roller coaster you had last year to end up 20 better than you had.
Yeah. I had a lot of swarms, so I had a lot of, and I did a lot of OTS splits this spring, Keith, and they all worked out pretty good. So, so.
But that's going to, if you ain't careful, that's going to turn into work. That's a big number for one man show.
Well, you know what I tell folks. Keeps me in the bars and houses out of the bars and houses of ill repute. He got us down to 2 now. He disappeared. He's gonna try to.
Yeah.
I can't get it fixed. I apologize.
We'll be okay.
No apology necessary. It just,
Just get a double look at us tonight, I guess, is all I can say. So,
yeah. Well, maybe you'll get twice as much credit on YouTube.
Maybe we'll see. So,
then everybody will be doing it.
Yeah.
How'd you do that, Ricky?
If somebody can mess it up, I sure can do it. So, I did see that. I think one of the reasons Tom and Melissa may not be here with us right now is they were actually feeding some of their bee yards. I'll try to pull a picture up of that here real quick and share it with everybody.
Yeah, I saw Tom post something about that. Trying to get some feed on a few more.
Yeah, I think this is them right there feeding some of their out yards right there. Mm-hmm. So they're like the rest of us are batting down the hatches and getting ready for winter. So, JW, have you been up there to their bee yards? Have you ever been up to Tom?
I've been to some of them. I haven't been to. I may have been to all of them. I don't think I have. Just by them, I've not been in them or worked bees in them. That's I try to stay away from out there. That's kind of a bad area.
Well, you know how it goes. So
no,
you're across the river. So which state are you in?
I'm in Illinois. They're in Missouri.
Okay.
Almost clear across to Illinois from them, but I'm in southern Illinois. It's not too wide down there. It's about 140 miles across. That's all.
Okay.
From one side to the other, east to west. Illinois is a long state, north to south. It's better than 350 miles from south end to the north end.
Mm-hmm.
So people say, well, you must be from Chicago area, and I'm over 300 miles from Chicago. So I'm closer to Nashville by 100 miles, almost 100 miles than I am Chicago.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
230 from Nashville, I think, and a little over 300 to Chicago.
Okay.
That's where we met Matt and I with the Nukes and outside of Nashville there.
Mm-hmm.
That spring.
Do you have a lot of snow there normally?
No.
Okay.
Oh, once in a while we'll have it that stays on for a while, but seldom. Yeah, we may get. Last winter we had one spell had about 6 inches. I got some. I think I had a picture on my background. That's the biggest snow we'd had in a year prior. In 23, I don't think we had any snow.
Mhm.
22, very little. But last year we had one.
Yeah.
Maybe I can. Maybe
Well,
I
this sounds pretty similar to us.
bring it up. We don't. Now, back in the, I think it was 84. We had one of those winters, and they're saying we're going to have some snow this year. Time will tell, but I think it was 84 here. We had a winter that it snowed. I rode a snowmobile up to one of my neighbors on Thanksgiving Day, and we had snow clear through to almost the 1st of April.
Wow.
We had snow on the ground. But that's the most snow I've ever seen in this country since 1965. That's when I ended up here in Paradise.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to snow hanging around that long. I like for it to snow real good 2 or 3 days and then get going.
I hate snow. Just
It
makes
ain't as much fun as it was when I was a kid.
yeah. Well,
Now it's just trouble.
I was in the livestock business too long to like snow. It just makes extra work, doesn't it? And in this country, if you get 6 inches in 3 or 4 days, it's off, and that all turns to mud. All that to soak in and make a muddy mess for livestock and makes extra work for you.
Yeah.
So I hate it.
Yeah, Lee said it got down to 31 down his way.
Yeah,
Wow.
dropped all the way down there, I think.
That's pretty chilly. Pretty chilly for that neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. So I don't like cold weather anymore. I used to not mind it, but I don't like it anymore. I got Father Times taking all the heater out of me, I guess.
It's funny how that changes a bit.
Yeah.
Trying to upload a few photos that Larry sent me, so give me just a second, and we will show a few of those photos. Pretty interesting because Larry's down there in South Carolina, so they do get some snow, but usually it's not quite that much. What's going on, Ethan? Ian, you doing all right tonight? So let's see if I can add one of those photos real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Ian. You having to get that air conditioner running, aren't you, Ian?
So this was in South Carolina, which is, you don't quite see them get kind of snow down there, but they got a good one down there. So
yeah, that's crazy when they get it down south, and I didn't get anything up here. No fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
that's really pretty right there. The flares coming up.
Yeah, I mean he's a few miles south of Charlotte. I knew Charlotte got some flurries, but that's all right.
My background there that I've got up there now, Keith, was last winter when that's the snow we had last winter. It was on for about a week.
Okay.
That's not this last one, thank God.
Yeah, Ian says it's running. Said
4 degrees.
Yeah. Wow.
4 degrees C.
Yeah. Let's see. Got Philip here with us.
And Southern Russell.
Yeah.
Hey. Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. We had an episode here. I wanted to get to everybody's get somebody's opinion on it.
Uh-oh, an episode.
See if it's ever happened to them. Let's see. And I sent you some pictures, Ricky. I think you got them.
Yeah, I'll try to get them in here just a second.
I mean, hey, well, we probably ought to go over the pictures first before I show you the result. But I guess I'll set it up. We were just bottling honey, and we had just finished up some of the Richland honey, which had a little bit more foam on it than usual. Usually, when we pour it through our strainers before I bottle it, it gets a little bit of it gets air bubbles in it, and they have to rise to the top. But we had scraped all the Richland honey out of the bucket, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to wash this out. I'm just going to pour the Crossroads honey right on top. There's not going to be enough of it to make any difference. And I noticed it looked kind of milky, and it came all the way up to the bottom of the screen. And then I went on to work, and Noah called me up about an hour later and said, hey, I came back in here. I was letting that honey settle out. And he said it was all spilling out the top of the bucket and all over the floor.
Mm.
I don't know if you can show those pictures, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get them.
Sure.
I've sent them to my email and then
I got
get them back. I'm not as good. Again, I'm not as good as some of these other guys with this stuff. Give me just a second. I'll get
I'll
them.
show you.
Did you test it, Philip?
What's that?
Did you test it for moisture?
I tried to test the Richland.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of the suds when I did it, but it was running about 19%. I guess if I need to calibrate my refractometer.
I've had that happen in the past. It's usually on honey that was a little bit too wet, that'll come.
But the thing is, it happened within 30 minutes of when we poured it in the bucket. It was clear when we poured it in the bucket, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a little bit of foam in the one we poured it into, but because we cleaned it out, but it wasn't that much.
Just the white foam on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was touching the bottom of the strainer, which means it was, a good 5 inches probably below the top of the bucket.
Yeah.
But it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing until it crawled out of the bucket.
I've had that happen in the past, but it was always honey that was pretty doggone, usually in the 20s or better.
Well, and when we get it set back up again, we're letting it settle out. We are going to test it just coming out of the bottom, so we're not testing foam. We're actually testing honey.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you here in a minute. That foam, I can't even stick my finger all the way through that foam.
Yeah, I've been there before, but it's been a while. But that was what I determined was my cause anyway. I'm not saying that's your cause. But.
So that's it. Coming up through, that strainer, at least 3 inches down in that foam right there, and it came all the way out. And like I said, it didn't take more than about 30 minutes for it to happen. That's why I'm not thinking it's fermented. It doesn't taste fermented either. It tastes just like the foam does on top of honey.
I didn't think it happened that quick.
Yeah, and then it did fill that bucket up. We poured a full bucket into that little bottling tank, and I don't know if you can look under that chair, but it's all out onto the floor there.
You can see it.
Mm.
In the next picture, when Noah pulled the table away.
That stirs it up when you pour it too or transfer it from one container to another, I think.
Yeah. I noticed, but yeah, we always get a little more foam and air bubbles because we let it, because if you start bottling right away, you're going to get a lot of air bubble.
Yeah.
What's that say? Too much K-Row? Is that what he said?
Your friends.
That's a good one there, Matt. Appreciate you.
Brian says he's never seen that before. I've never seen it that quick. Usually, if it's too high moisture, usually it's, it takes it a few days, but.
Carbonated honey.
Let's see if I can't figure out how to flip my.
Maybe your bees had gas.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Did he get whipped by the extractor cage?
Well,
You see that?
it's been out of the extractor for a long time.
Mhm.
It was sitting in a bucket, and it was fine in the bucket. Now we did, like I said, there was like a trace amount of honey that was foaming. We kept thinking maybe the two honeys reacted with one another or something. I don't know. But this is the honey that this was the last of the honey that was poured off of the bucket. We just poured it in this jar, and that's rising up, and that's typically what we see is about a 1/4 inch maybe on the top.
Mhm.
Oh, but let me see you. Look at the carnage here. We got the table turned upside down. There's still honey underneath the baseboard. We got to figure out how to get. But here, let me show you the honey that's still in the bucket. Watch this. See, that's the foam right there. This is the bottling tank right there. So here, watch this spoon. We'll go down. Let's see if I can find honey down in there.
Hey, Philip, my wife wants to know if you got radioactive bees.
Maybe.
It's like a honey float.
I hadn't found honey yet, and I'm about.
That's crazy.
I can't figure it out. And I like the foam that's on top of honey, but I've never seen it that thick.
No, I don't believe I've ever had it that thick, but I've had it, a couple inches thick.
I don't know what's going on with it.
That's some kind of special creamed honey, I guess.
Yes.
A lot of hydrogen peroxide there.
I know. We need to get that stuff bottled because we got to market.
You can use it for medicinal honey.
Yeah, I never did get down to honey, so we're just gonna let it settle overnight, I guess, and we'll get set back up. Hopefully, there's some honey in there, and not just foam. And when we do pour that out, we'll test the moisture content of that. I mean, that honey was extracted back in July. So.
Wow.
Did you test it then, Philip?
Yeah. I think I've tested. I guess I did. You get busy, but I test it. I try to test everything and make sure it's over 18%. Especially that Richland. That Richland honey does tend to run a little wetter, but and I can kind of tell when it's when it's coming out, if it looks like water, or if it's coming out like honey. But I didn't get
had it happen in the past. It's been several years since I've had it happen, but it was honey on the high moisture side that caused it, or that's the way I assessed it anyway.
I just hope that you know what I need to do. I've got several bottles of that Richland bottled for the market. I need to just take one of those because it won't have much foam on it, if any, and just test it. Open
it up and let the air hit it and see if it goes crazy.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is it right here. Let me tip it and let's see if we see anything. This is the honey that came out of the bucket, not what's in the bucket now.
Mm.
But what's crazy is the honey in the bucket now had no foam on top of it when we poured it in there. But there was a little foam left from this honey. So, yeah, there's no foam at all on that. I mean, look, let me see if you can see the bubble. See the back? I'm right, hold the camera right. You can see there's no foam at all on that honey. Now this would have been obviously, from below where the foam is, though. I don't know.
Yeah, Brad had a good point there a minute ago. All of our names are showing up right again. Did y'all notice that?
Oh, right.
Look over in the chat. You don't have the @ it's just like the good old days.
Yeah, things are definitely changing on this computer tonight.
Ricky, you fixed that too.
The government went back to work.
It must have been the new cable.
We'll take the double chat for the get their names back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're on the twice, aren't we?
Well, Philip, you need to make a video about this. Whatever.
I don't know where to start though. I mean,
Yeah, Brian wants you to open the jar so we can watch it foam up.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'll open one of those Richland jars, but like I said, there's no foam at all in that. The only foam that I have is in that jar I showed you at the beginning. That was just trying to clean the bucket out, scrape it into that pint jar, so we could move on to the next variety.
I'm going to suggest, Philip, that you'll probably have to scrape or use saran wrap or something and get that foam off of it, or that foam off of it, because it'll stay like that. It won't go down.
Oh, it won't
Well,
go down.
what I was going to do, JW, is I'm hoping that below all that foam at some point there's some just regular honey.
Yeah, there will be. There will be.
And that bucket has a bottling valve on it. It's got a valve on it. So I'm just going to, when the foam gets down to the bottom, I'll just give the foam to the bees, I guess. But I've had foam on top of the honey, but it's never been more than about a quarter inch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's normal. What you got there ain't normal.
No, it's not. It's
just funny that none of us know what it is.
I've only been doing this 5 years. I just felt like somebody out there would know what I'm up against. I mean, I think if it was fermenting, it'd be bubbling, and it's not. It's it's just sitting there, and also it would smell different and taste different. Mm-hmm. I think that's my opinion, anyway. But
yeah, what Brian said there, Noah's making mead. Did he drop some?
It's like
what would that be? Yeast? Did he drop some yeast in your honey while you were
yeast into that honey? That's what he did. Yeah.
It looks like he dropped some Alka-Seltzers in there. That's what it looks like. Some baking soda or something,
You can market it though if you find the right angle. You got something. You got something nobody else has got.
What's funny is this might be just karma. I don't know, because I was with the Scouts this weekend. Or not with the Scouts, I was actually with adult Scouters, and I was training them up. And I got a text from somebody that wanted to buy some honey. So Noah and I had already been talking about bottling that Richland honey, and as he does sometimes, he was putting it off. And so now I'm like, look, there's somebody who wants to buy 6 jars of that and 5 jars of the fall honey. That's a big sale. You need to get on that. And I'd already told the guy he could pick it up on Saturday. Well, Noah had not. I called him, and he said, "Oh no, I hadn't done that yet." I said, "Well, can you get it done by 2:00?" And this was like noon, And he's like, "Yeah, I can do that." So he comes running home and bottles, and he said the guy was here like 1:45. And then when I got home, I looked over, and there was a jar of that almost full of that Richland honey, and I saw a whole bunch of foam on top of it. And I went, "Oh no, he's giving that guy real foamy honey." So because when you pour it, when you run it through the screen it puts a bunch of bubbles into it. Yeah. And that Richland honey, as always, when you let it settle out, it has about a 1/4 inch of foam on top. That's its characteristics. Whereas most of my honey just has like a little skim layer. So I go ahead and text the guy and say, "Hey, when you open that honey, if it's got a foam on top of it," I was explaining to him what it was, that it was bottled too quickly before the bubbles were able to settle out of it. And I said and he said that it already settled out and it was fine. And I explained to him that was hydrogen peroxide that caused that's in honey. And he's cool with it. But so anyway, that was a few days ago. And then, of course, there was just a trace amount left, but it was foam that was in there. I scraped into that other one, but it, like I said, it rose out of there pretty good in that one jar we scraped it into. So I don't think it had anything to do with the honey that was in that bucket. But I did notice right after we poured it in, I kind of looked down around the screen. I was like, "Well, that looks kind of milkier than it usually does."
Yeah, Todd says put you some in the refrigerator and see if that helps with some of the fermenting. And Rick made a comment about turning it into cotton candy, which I think I remember Mr. Ed talking about taking some of that foam off and being able to put it in like coffee and stuff. So I don't know how that would work exactly, but that'd be interesting.
I like that. Whenever I'm messing with that and getting that, like I'll take a spoon, if I jar it and it's got too much of that on there, I'll take a spoon and just scoop as much of that off, and I'll just put it to the side, and I'll eat that, myself later.
Yeah,
I do that quite a bit, but I just don't know what to do with that much foam. That's a lot.
You find a way. You may have found a new product there, Philip.
Yeah, I won't be able to repeat it.
Use it like a topping on ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a cherry on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I doubt that it's fermenting because it literally just tastes like any of the foam I've ever eaten off the top of honey. It's not. It doesn't have a wang or anything to it.
Well, I've had some honey to ferment before, and I'll tell you, it'll pop the tops off of, but it usually takes. From the honey I did, it took almost a month before the tops popped off of it.
Yeah, that's a slower process.
It seems that way, yeah. But those jars were sealed, so I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. This didn't have any. I mean, this was sitting there like that first picture you saw, but it did have a lid just sitting on top. So there was like an air gap all the way around because those screens hold the lid up high, like 2 inches above the rim. So it had something just to keep, dust and bugs and stuff from going down in there, just sitting on top. Because we leave it like that. We usually don't fill it up until it touches, but we just wanted to get that whole bucket in there that we poured in. And so, I don't know. Like I said, there was no pressure, nothing that could have been pushing against. It just rose up out of there and overflowed. Now, Noah looked up and he said that they say sometimes honey can react with metal. But when I told him that screen is stainless steel, he said, well, that shouldn't happen if it's stainless steel.
Instead of sea foam, Ron says it could be bee foam.
Bee foam.
Philip's Miracle Whip.
Yeah. One of a kind.
It's like a souffle. Oh, well. Just when you think you got it figured out.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, the reason I know there wasn't any foam on it before we poured it in was it was a second pull, and we were thinking, okay, this is probably going to, that Crossroads honey I got is super light. And I was like, I hope it's not much darker because it tends to get darker. And when I opened that bucket up, I said, no, that's still really light honey. And when we poured in, I saw it was light. So if I'd opened it up and seen a bunch of foam on it, I wouldn't even have been able to tell for sure what color it was. What's he saying?
The marketing department.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's your service.
Yeah. I do need to. You do. You know what? You're probably right. I should scoop that off and put it in jars.
Yeah. Miracle Whip.
Yeah. That would be
You don't know what happened, but it's $20 a jar.
That's right. Just taste it. You don't believe me? Just taste it.
Good for wound care. And on ice cream. It goes both ways.
Brent says he saw a video saying honey does react to stainless steel, but it's in a lesser extent than regular steel. So I don't know.
Now it was constantly touched because when we filled it up, it was probably an inch and a half over that little, what do you call that, a reverse dome, that bottom, that rounded part of that small filter. It was touching that for the whole time that, whatever, 30 minutes to an hour before he noticed that was happening. Because I told him, I said, this looks like it's got a lot of bubbles in it. You need to give it at least an hour to let it settle before you try to bottle it. Because I didn't want him repeating what he had done, a few days before.
Yeah, Jameson says maybe you should try to duplicate that foaming process.
Yeah.
See if you can figure out what's going on with it. You may have you may have found a new product. Who knows?
I guess. I do still. That's my last bucket of Crossroads. I have another bucket of Richland. But it's a good point. I have the other bucket of Richland. I can actually test the moisture on that without having to fight through foam to get to it.
Yep. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the center of a Three Musketeer, that foam was actually was found, and it was a mistake found, and that's how the Musketeer bar come about. Yeah. So
What do they call that?
center you got.
Nougat.
Nougat. Yeah, nougat. I need a fancy name for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not sure where that word came from.
B-gut doesn't sound too good.
No, let's don't go there.
All right. I didn't mean to shoot the wheels off your show. I just was about to. I told when it happened, I said, no, I got to go on and talk to people about this. I don't, I'm just totally. Because he was thinking I would know what it was. I was like, I have no idea what we called it to do that much. Never even had close to that much. So, even if it was fermented, I just don't think it would foam up like that unless it was trapped air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
So, JW, have you seen that kind of before? You say
I'm telling you, I've had it in the past. And it was honey that I actually bucketed it and when you transfer it into a bottling tank or something, it'll foam up on you like that. And it was like 21%.
Well, I'm anxious now. We're
reacted that quick. It reacted that
quick.
quick.
You're going to get it off there, Philip. I'm telling you, just take a cup or something and dip it off.
Oh, I will. I'm anxious to. When Noah gets back, he's not here right now. We're going to set that table. We got to keep going. We got to clean that up, set the table up, and get everything set up. He somehow managed to move the heavier bottling tank. It's only 7 gallons, but it's water jacketed and had half full of honey. But we're going to get it all set back up anyway, and I'm anxious to see what the water content on that honey is. Right now, heck, I can't even get to it to test it.
Mm.
But yeah, if I see it's that high, I'll be surprised, but it might be. I know
I've had it happen 2 or 3 times in years gone by, and that's what it was.
Yeah, the time I had really high water content, it was Richland. It was early in the spring. It was capped. One of the mistakes I made was that I used only capped honey, and it was 19.6 or something like that. But I noticed when I cut the caps off, it just ran out of there like water. You could just tell something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And now when I harvest that Richland honey, I make sure that I mix capped and uncapped, because the uncapped is always drier than the capped early in the spring. Just all that stuff they tell you is capped is ready, don't believe it. That's not necessarily true. And uncapped a lot of my honey here in the fall was uncapped, and it was running about 14 or 15% uncapped.
Well, I know in some of the previous chats, you said you had some pretty, some 14, 15%,
Yeah, I've been adding a little bit of water to that honey to get it back up to 16 or better. That fall honey.
That's the bee gods getting even with you for adding water to it.
Trying to dilute it down. You're right, JW.
He's not yet, Tom, but he will be one day. I'm going to have to back up a little bit, though. I can tell. I don't know what it is about us old men. We can all open jars better than any of these 20-year-olds. They always still come to me to open their jars. Of course, I guess they just use their thumbs now,
Mm-hmm.
They didn't grow up farming and stuff.
Yeah, if you figure out what it is Phil, definitely come back on here and let us know for sure whether it was ferment not or just something special that happened. I would love to know. This is kind of interesting. So
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what the moisture content is because
Mhm.
if it's real high, I got to decide, am I going to bottle it? You know, what I probably ought to do is take, well, no, I don't have that. That was a second pull. So what's in the bottles now from Crossroads is the first pull. So it probably wouldn't, there wouldn't be a good test if I checked one of the bottles I had that was already Crossroads. So I'll have to wait and get to it in the bottom of the bucket.
Well, if the moisture is that high, you could just let it keep reacting and just keep harvesting the foam.
There you go.
yeah,
That's a good
I'd
point.
say it's done all it's gonna do, Philip. If it's settled down now, if it's quit running over the side of the bucket, it's done all it's gonna foam. But you're gonna have to get the foam and get down to the honey, or
Yeah.
the honey from below it if you got it already got it. And if that's in your, if that is a bottling tank.
Yeah, it's in my bottling tank. It is one of it's a 5-gallon bucket, but it's got the valve that I got from Joey last year.
Yeah.
And it's in Man Lake, I think, is in
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about that the other night. Yeah, you got that from Joey the other night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he actually donated it to the Hives for Heroes. He gave it to me and said donate however much I thought it was worth. So I put another $100 into the pot. That's how that transaction occurred.
Hey, Tom, if Melissa can look it up, let us know how many people are coming to the No Life Beekeeper Dinner at Nobby, if you get a chance. I will try to pop that back up again.
Did y'all see that they had started selling the pollen patties at Nobby? They're going to do it through Hilco.
Yeah.
Those are on sale now. If anybody's wanting to get some of those global patties.
I think I'd like to get a few of them myself, actually.
Yep, I always get a few. I don't use a whole lot of pollen patties, but I do use a few. What's up, Tom?
What's up, Tom?
Did you get all those ladies fed? Uh-oh. We got the finger.
Yeah. I think they're trying to look up that question I just asked.
Okay. JW turned into a, what's that, a Brahma bull?
Yeah. See if I can find that code real quick.
Oh, Brian said he'll get 200 pounds of global patties.
There is the QR code for the Nobby dinner. If anybody hasn't registered, would like to come out and be with us. Like I said earlier, JWB by the bathroom, signing autographs for everybody. So.
So where is Melissa, Tom?
She was looking up the information in the background. 84. We just got through eating dinner, so she said 84. 84 people have signed up, so almost just shy of 50% of what we can hold. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. And I think you all posted it on the Nobby web page also. Is that not correct?
The link?
Yeah. Or that code, the thing I think I seen on their Facebook page just the other day. So that one right there, is that on the Nobby?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Melissa would have been the one that did that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
She ran off, so I'm not sure where she went. Hey, Melissa, did you post it on the Nabi page too?
No, it's not on the Navi page. It's just on the Real Life Beekeepers page.
It's not on the Nabi page. It's on the No Life Beekeepers page.
Okay.
I wanted to give the people that participate in the lives and stuff like that enough opportunity to sign up and get a spot before we post it on somewhere like Nabi where everybody is going to see it and we might get, which is great, you know, everybody's
Right.
welcome. But I just wanted to give our group of people that we all talk to all the time first chances before we post it to the general public.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
See,
I saw Roy ask a question there about
there's no way. It's
the young fella whose mom was battling cancer. I guess he's talking about Jace.
Jace.
Want to know how she was doing. Last I talked to Jace, he said she was doing better. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
He's got his hive buttoned up for winter with his fondant patty on. So I think they've already ate up about half or 3/4 of it. So he was going to see about getting some more.
See, it's still there.
He did get a deer.
Did he?
He loves deer hunting. So yeah, he got a deer. So
Let me try to log back in.
No. Hey, question. Your guys' screen, is it showing 2 screens?
Yeah.
That's my fault. I don't know what I did wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing off there. What's going on? And I'm like, what's going on over here? That's why I'm like, hold on a minute. I wasn't trying to figure out how to keep working. I'm trying to figure out why I've got double vision. I was going to go like this and like
Yeah,
this.
there's
And I don't
twice as
drink,
many of
so
us.
I know
We're
it's not
everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a portrait view of us.
I can see I got anything on my teeth.
What happens if I turn it this way?
So on my
It's the
iPad,
same.
it looks like the screen on the left when I pulled the chat up on my iPad.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That is wild.
Ricky, I don't know what you did, but it's screwing me up right now.
I'm sorry, man. Just put your hand over one eye. You'll be all right.
I can still see it now. I can't unsee it though. That's the problem.
Speaking of Melissa, what's about this new shirt that I come across?
Yeah, that was at the Illinois State Conference.
That's just how popular I am. People everywhere are looking for me.
She's got her own fan club.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
He was sitting up there, and I don't know the guy. I never met him before, and as he was sitting there, I said to him, I'm like, "Hey, where's Melissa?" And he actually turned around, and I don't know if he knew what I was talking about or just kind of heard my voice or whatever. And then I'm just looking at him, and he's like, "Oh, there's actually a funny story behind it." So we had a conversation that lasted about 15 or 20 minutes. So if anybody doesn't know, Melissa in Greek, I think it's Greek, means honeybee.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow. So was he Greek or
No.
just a
I think it was just a play on the name at a bee conference because
Yeah.
it was at the Illinois State Conference.
Maybe I'll have her T-shirt lady print me off a shirt that says "Where's Melissa?"
I think that would be cool.
See how many people recognize who I am or what that means.
Just think, when you go out into the bee yards by yourself, you're still surrounded by me.
Hey, Brent, there is no way they would never let me be a professor. That would be the last thing that I would do.
So tell us about y'all feeding your bee yard real quick. How'd that go?
Oh, I just had I don't know.
You
There
did
might have
2
been
yards.
there might have been 50 or 60 gallons left. I mean, at that point I was at the last yard. There wasn't much in there. If you look at the picture on the bottom, you can see there's a little bit left in that tank there, but that was about, I don't know, maybe a little bit less than 2-to-1 syrup, and it had Hive Alive additive in it. I had some last of it that I dumped into the tank. That was, I don't know, week and a half ago. So that's what I had left in there. So I just finished feeding them off. Believe it or not, what's interesting is that any colony that I have that still has a division board feeder in it, they'll take it down with our temperatures that we've been having. Most colonies, not all, most colonies that are not banging, I mean, like busting at the seam strong, they won't take down. So I don't know if you can zoom in any of those pictures. If you see a black shim on top of any of those boxes up there, the black shim means it's a feeder spacer is what it is.
High top feeder.
Yeah, high top feeder spacer. So they're like, I don't know, 4 inches thick, tall. I guess tall would be the more appropriate to describe it. And the Man Lake feeders that we have, Man Lake or even the Saracel, they'll fit inside there. Well, because it's sitting up too high off of this cluster, when it's been cool, like this week it's been fairly warm, but over the last weekend it was a little cooler, and then the weekend before it was downright cold. We got down into the mid 20s, I think it was, for 1 or 2 nights. It's pretty nasty. But they will take the syrup out of the division board feeders right now, but they won't. They were very, very slow to take it out of those hive top feeders. So anybody that still needs to feed syrup back, I mean, those colonies will still take it at 50 degrees, but it has to be right next to them.
Right. So did y'all get a big snow where y'all were at, Tom, or was it, didn't get anything?
No snow here.
Okay.
I prayed so that we wouldn't.
Well, that'll work.
I mean, believe it or not, we still have a couple of contracts that we still have to send out for some snow removal potential customers.
Oh, so you do snow removals for commercial customers and different things?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do industrial. We'll do office space or retail, and then we'll also do subdivisions. We don't do any driveways or nothing like that. Everything we just do is set up ahead of time, contract everything ahead of time, and then we know our route plan and stuff.
Yeah. Back in one of my previous jobs, I spent a lot of money on getting folks like you to do my snow removal.
Yeah. Well, I don't like doing it, so that doesn't help the cause. So I had a conversation with the guy today, and I usually will on the phone. I'll kind of weed out some of the people that I don't think are a good fit, and I'll ask them a few questions up front. And I'm like, so what's your, what triggers you guys to want snow service at your facility? And if they say, well, we don't want anything unless it hits 2 inches or above, I'm like, find somebody else. We're only looking for that kind of like emergency service work from basically 0 on up. The problem is Missouri gets most snows that we get are probably going to be less than 2 inch snows. They're just small, insignificant, enough to make the ground slick. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to invest tens of thousands of dollars in equipment and, bring in several tons of salt into our salt bin back there to not make any money. So we usually kind of weed those out. But anymore, I've been in business for 25 years of the landscaping. I've been pushing snow for 23 of it. And I'm about burnt out on it, honestly.
So you get the contract. You use the contract and you get paid whether it snows or not, right?
So I don't typically set mine up like that. I thought about doing a part of my contracts that way. We only get paid if we provide service, but it also lies at my discretion when it comes to that. So we're looking for kind of the zero tolerance properties, basically, so that we can work from a dusting of snow or, a solid threat. We'll go out and pre-treat stuff from that.
I thought maybe that the way you said you prayed for it not to get too cold, that you just got paid and then prayed and made it warm again.
Yeah.
Pretty good trick.
Well, there are guys that actually do that. They'll just do a seasonal contract on it and say here, and they'll do an average out, 5 years out, from the last 5 years and kind of go from there. I don't know I don't know that I would do 100% of my contracts that way. You might be able to do a percentage of them that way, because then you're not going to, if you have an overabundance of snow, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose big. Whereas you could probably kind of buffer that a little bit to where you could, if you just had a mediocre year, you could probably win on that. So I don't know. I chose not to do that because I didn't want to take that risk. There's too much money involved in it.
Right.
So, but for right now, we'll still provide that service. We still have some pretty good customers that we take care of, full service, from landscaping to bed maintenance stuff to snow work and the whole nine, leaf removal, cleanups, the whole 9 yards. So. Last year, right after Nabi, we had to leave. We were going to stay. So Nabi ended on Saturday evening, like 5 o'clock or something like that. We were going to stay Saturday evening into Sunday and then just drive back home. I mean, for us, it's 4.5 hours, so it's not that big a deal. But because the threat of incoming snow that was hitting, moving from west to east, when everybody was trying to get out of Louisville, some people left early and things like that. Melissa and I left about, I want to say it's about 5 o'clock. 4:30, 5 o'clock Louisville time, because that's Eastern, isn't it? Isn't that Eastern time zone?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like barely Eastern. So we were going back to Central. So we got back into St. Louis about 9:30. But when I left, I was watching the radar and stuff. So I sent my boys out to load up the salt trucks and go pre-treat everything, because they were calling for an ice mix along with ice and snow, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't have anything that got bonded to the pavement. So I sent those guys out to go pre-treat everything. So by the time we got into St. Louis, they were just finishing up some of the rounds on those buildings. So, and it literally just started snowing. I think it was 9:30 or 10 o'clock in St. Louis when those guys were finishing up the pre-treatment, and then it started to snow. So we went and kind of hung back for a little bit. Since it was a weekend, some of the pressure was off of some of the buildings, so we were able to get things cleaned up before they opened back up. But hopefully it doesn't snow when we're at Nabi this year.
Agreed.
Who knows?
Not interested in that.
Tom, did y'all get into any of your bees this week, or was just on the feeding process?
I just fed them. I haven't gotten down into the clusters in probably a month or better. I mean, every once in a while I'll crack a box and look in there just to see what the clusters look like, but I mean, at this point in time, I'm not going to fix anything. So there's no need to meddle down inside there. We just wanted to keep them filled. And at this point, I'm going to the back of the hives and I'm hefting them, and just kind of checking them out. And then every once in a while, I'll crack the top feeder and look in there to see what the cluster size looks like. But other than that, we're just feeding them off and hefting them. So this should be the last bit that we had to do. I don't have any intention of mixing up any more sugar syrup for the season. At this point, if we have to do anything else additionally later on, like maybe January or February, I might throw a patty on them or something, just a fondant patty or something if it's necessary. But I don't know. I think it's easier for us, more cost effective to feed syrup than it is to come back and feed fondant or anything else. Even like if you're making your own sugar board, which doesn't cost a lot of money for the materials, but it costs a lot of your time, because making a sugar board or a candy board, it just requires a lot of time, whereas you can actually mix up a bunch of sugar syrup and feed back to your colonies much more efficiently. So that's what I try to do, is just try to pump them full of syrup and get them really heavy on the top box in particular, and just let them ride like that. If I need to throw some fondant on them, I can. So I don't know if anybody was looking at the Nabi specials and stuff, and I'm going to actually try this. John Hill has his turbo fondant feed, which doesn't have any additives. It's just straight fondant. There's nothing that's added to it. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm kind of wondering if that's actually made in the same manufacturing facility as what some of the Hive Alive products are, because when you look at the packaging, I've never had one in my hand, but they look like darn near identical. But we actually ordered a handful of boxes of those, and I had, I think, four big boxes of the Hive Alive from fondant left from last year. So I got enough to make sure that I've got at least one, if not maybe 1.5 fondant packs per each colony. I don't think I'll need all of it, but just as an insurance policy. But that's actually about, I think it was $1.50 for $2 cheaper per fondant pack or patty on that turbo feed than the Hive Alive was. You all right, JW?
I'm eating, don't bother me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Just checking on you.
That's kind of like a reversal, right? JW eating and Tom is doing the talking.
Yeah.
Usually the opposite. Tom's usually eating. JW talking about it.
I just finished eating. Melissa makes really good, like not just really good, amazing. What? It's homemade from scratch, chicken and dumplings.
Mm.
It's like really good, not just good. It's really good. So I was stuffing my face while I was trying to poke at Philip and trying to get a reaction out of him. I figured he knew that was going to happen, though.
No, I wouldn't react. And Noah's not here to know anything about it, so we're not even going to tell him.
All right.
They gotta make 2 batches.
Hey, James, thank you for adding that additional donation to your gift basket. I don't know if you can read that, Philip, but he says Tom and Philip adding 12 honey straws to the gift basket, so
Okay.
$12 more.
Yeah,
So-
I was actually going to talk about that because I guess Melissa can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's our first official donation.
Correct.
Melissa said yes.
Yes, and he's got several honeys in there, several creamed honeys and runny honeys and some other stuff. I don't have that list in front of me, but yeah, a whole lot of stuff. Thank you, James. That's going to be real nice. He's going to get us a picture of it too.
Philip and I had some great conversations with Craig Midget. He's one of the leads for Tennessee, and he kind of does, I think, a little bit more than just that. But and he's going to help to get some things set up. I'll let Philip explain all that stuff. That's kind of his baby. But we had some good conversations with Craig. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's set up a donation site, so we'll be able to just give out a QR code and people will be able to scan it and go straight there. And I think they take all kinds of payments. Just make sure you put your name on there and how much you donate, and I'll figure out how many tickets that gets you. We're going to do $5 per ticket and 5 for 20 on those raffles.
Yeah, the site is. I never heard this platform before, Philip. I'm just curious about you. Give Butter.
Yeah, that was new to me too when I first saw that. I heard him say "Give Butter," and I was like, "Is he just having weird accent, or is it's Give Butter, Butter?"
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And then when he had it typed in there, I'm like, did he mistype something? Is there an autocorrect or something? And I didn't ask, and he said it a few more times inside there, and I'm like, well, it must be right then. So I went to it and looked at the site that he had started to set up, and he kind of adjusted a couple times for us, but it was. So I've never heard of that platform before.
Hello.
But they're pretty excited to hear about all the, what we were trying, or what Philip, I'll say, is trying to do. With
That's
the
my
whole,
son there that had the episode. Yeah, that was but yeah, he's got an easy way, so I don't have to take all that money and combine it and count it and do all that stuff. It'll just be a report that he sends me. Now, if there were a few people last year that don't do anything electronically and wanted to mail me a check, I'll still take that if that's what you guys want to do. So that was like 2 or 3 people.
Hey, Philip, I wonder if they could send you the check. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say if they could send you a check, but put it in the name of Hives for Heroes. But I'll let you.
Oh, you know what? That's yeah.
You can handle
That might be even better. Then I can just give it to them when we get to Nobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're making up like another big.
Yes, we need the big.
Oh yeah, I want to make a big check for
That
sure.
was fun.
That's fun.
Why was someone going to send them a check?
And it helped because I'd forgotten how much we had raised, and I'd said we raised more than we raised, and I went back and looked at the picture and was like, oh boy, I blew that. But yeah, I think I'm going to donate my deluxe version of my swarm trap that I make.
That's awesome.
And I think that's going to be something that's going to probably have to be picked up at Nobby if possible. It's kind of big to try to ship. But yeah, we'd like for everybody that wants to donate something, like Flower Street Farms, to get us a picture of what they want to donate, and so Melissa can get it all done. Kind of. We know it won't be all at one time, but not like last year where we 4 days before the contest we're still changing and adding. So get the word out too. I guess we need to talk to Greg Burns. Maybe he wants to make a nice donation again. I'm sure he probably will. Oh, there, honey. Hey, Matt, are you going to put some of that award-winning honey in there? Because I need some of that. I still think the fix is on, so I need to test it. You need to send me. You need to send you need to send me a sample to make sure it's approved for the contest.
Say that.
I will tell you that I tasted some honey. I was telling Noah that we had some of, let me show it to you. You guys recognize this one? Well, let me see here. There it is. It says peanut allergen.
Oh, Carl.
That is some really good stuff.
What?
I think it's got chocolate in it too. It's his peanut butter creamed honey. He gave this to me, and he'd sent me some of the cinnamon, and they were bragging about his peanut butter honey, and I said, well, that's what I wanted to try. So he brought that to Nobby and gave it to me. But that's really good, really good.
Hey, James, you might have said, but are you going to be at Nobby? And specifically, are you coming to the Wednesday night dinner if you're going to be there? If you reserved a ticket, it's been too far along or I haven't paid attention. I usually see those emails too, but I've slept since all those emails have come in. Dot House says Philip could donate his famous bee foam.
That actually crossed my mind. A big old pint jar of bee foam. It still wouldn't be much once all the air's out of it. It still wouldn't be but about a tablespoon.
Is that how you would market it too, as bee foam?
Yeah, bee foam.
That would be good.
That would be. Let me see. Here, we'll demonstrate.
Sorry to hear that you won't be there.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to end up making a huge mess.
We are 49% sold on the.
Melissa says we are 49% sold. So
here we go.
Look at that.
It's pretty darn. I can't work the camera. It's like reverse. It
That'd be
does
good on
look like Cool Whip.
mm-hmm.
It
That's
doesn't.
really-
It's really not tripping off the spoon either. Just for sliding.
What do you
Looks
think
like
about that foam,
It's good.
Tom? Is it fermenting or is it something else you think going on?
I have no clue. Does it smell like fermentation?
Nope.
Probably not then. I mean,
It does
if
taste-
something's fermenting, I think you're going to smell it.
It does. It's really acidic though.
Huh.
Wound care.
Yeah.
That is a lot of foam on top of it.
That's the hydrogen peroxide, Philip.
Yeah, it's very acidic.
That's what hydrogen peroxide tastes like also.
Acidic.
It's good. I don't recommend eating that much of it in one. Kind of choked me a little bit.
Coming out your ears.
That wasn't about a half a pound on that spoon.
Yeah, you need to eat about a teaspoon instead of a tablespoon and a plus.
That's me like that foam's got some alcohol in it. I don't know what you talking about.
If it's fermenting, I'll be feeling it here in a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Philip, has there been some big temperature fluctuations in that honey?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's inside here, so it probably goes from. It's probably been 80 down to like maybe 60, and back up again.
Well, because
that's not huge.
Don't tell Erwin, okay? Don't tell him I said this or I did this, but I sent it into the basically Google just to see what else it said. Besides fermentation, what can cause honey to foam up? And obviously it says trapped air bubbles from processing,
Right.
The natural presence of pollen and beeswax and gas released by natural enzymes in honey. So I'm wondering if is that gas, or maybe like JW had said.
It happened. It went from, and I really wish that I had cleaned that bucket out so I could just take that whole little bit of foam from Richland away, because that keeps going like, okay, that probably didn't have anything to do with it, but I have to disclose that because maybe it did. But if I didn't have that, it all happened from pouring through the sieve, which that does make my honey bubble and foam, just never to that extent. So, but usually it settles out and maybe there's a little thin layer on top, but there was no foam at all on that honey when we poured it in before. And if it was fermenting, there would have been some foam there before we poured it in, I think. If fermentation actually causes the foam, which I think JW says he thinks it does. So
Fermentation?
I got no reason to not believe him. He never tells fibs.
No, he's never lied to a person in her life.
Right.
So when I'm looking through these enzyme activity, so I think this is what it is. Honey contains an enzyme, glucose oxidase, and that's what allows it to break down, I guess, which can cause small amounts of hydrogen peroxide or H2O2. At warmer temperatures, this can cause oxygen gas bubbles to form and rise, contributing to the foam. It also says temperature changes and also you're in Texas. What do you got? Your altitude changes by what? 50?
Yeah, we're somewhere between 400 and 500 feet.
Yeah, you're not going to go much. Changes in air pressure due to altitude can cause dissolved gases in the honey to bubble off and rise to the top also. So besides the trapped air bubbles, the natural components of propolis, pollen, et cetera, enzyme activity, temperature changes, and altitude changes. Those are all things that can lead to foamy honey. I bet you have that glucose oxidase, which is causing that. But I think if that was fermented, you would have definitely squinted your eyes a little bit when you took that big spoonful.
Yeah. That did choke me a little bit, but it was more of the acidic reaction. It wasn't fermentation for sure.
Although we brought some, we know the name. We're not going to name, but we brought some honey home from Nabi that fermented downstairs in our cabinet.
Whose was it? Who? So Melissa wanted me to tell you. She's over there coaching me what to say. I don't know why she just doesn't log on. Anyway, we actually did bring some honey home from Nabi from a particular individual that most people know in here. They're not in this chat right now, just FYI. That actually fermented. Like we went downstairs. We have a big cabinet full of different honeys from everybody, a lot of people, and we'll take them. I mean, we'll eat some of them, but some of them we'll also take to events like, for example, the EMBA is having a holiday party. I'll say Christmas party. Okay. I'm not going to be politically correct. Christmas party in December. And we'll take several of these and set them out there. And Melissa will create labels saying who it is, like Philip RTX Honeybees down in Texas, et cetera, et cetera. of all these different honeys from different areas, and people could try them, sample them, and taste them. But one that we had gotten, when we went down the cabinet, thing was like, I mean, hard as a rock, and I took the top off, and it was still.
There was honey all over the bottom of the cabinet.
Well, I know it had kind of leaked out and down the side too, but you could definitely tell it was fermented. I mean, it was very clear. Yep, that's right, Brad. Christmas party, Christmas. We're not being politically correct here.
And I have had some of my Richland honey in the jars, especially if it's overfilled. If you don't leave any headspace at all,
Yeah.
and that honey always has foamed a little bit more than the rest. And I have had it, get a little stickiness on the outside of the jar, not coming down the sides or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and close our chat out tonight. But if you guys will go out, and I'm not sure if it's on Todd's channel, if it's on Ryan's channel tonight, but check those guys out and, support them like you guys support us. I would appreciate it. And we just want to say thank you, everybody, come on the chat tonight. You guys in the chat have always been awesome. And we hope to see you guys next Thursday. And until then, God bless.
See y'all later.
Good night, everybody.